What's good, football fans? Back at you once again with another video. And today I wanted to come on and talk about one of the most underrated linebackers in the game. I mean, this dude is 100% dog. I am not even playing with you guys. Like, this dude is one of the most underrated players on the defensive side of the ball that there is. And of course, I'm talking about Frankie Luvu. And this guy is a Samoan dog. I mean, this guy comes in and just tears it up. Anybody that doesn't already know about the drive behind the Samoan people, you should definitely do some research. Or if you got a minute or two, just check out wrestling nowadays. The Samoan culture has taken that business almost over at this point with the bloodline and Roman Reigns. And of course, you know, The Rock has lineage. But at any rate, Frankie Luvu is a guy that's going to come in and he's going to do big things for Washington. But I'm not going to sit over here and pump this guy up. You guys know me. Let's just jump right in the film and let it speak for itself. And let me just start by saying that this is a guy that you should not be blocking with a running back. Or if you are blocking with a running back, you're automatically looking at a guy that's going to come in and disrupt. I mean, watch on this play right here. Bijan Robinson is just not given a chance at all. And to be quite honest with you, Ritter actually slips the sack and gets away when the odds were completely against him. He should have probably went down with this, but Robinson just couldn't do nothing with Luvu. He gets off of that, puts an arm on Ritter, but can't bring him down. Ritter slips out. But when Ritter goes back around the side over here and reestablishes, watch Luvu catch back up with him and put the hit on him. Wow. I mean, watch that in real time. That was just crazy the way that transpired right there. Like, first of all, Frankie Luvu should have had that sack right there, but you know, the quarterback slips away. But you watch it back in real time here, it shows you he never gives up. This is the kind of thing I love to see, especially in a linebacker. This is what you want. Never gives up, puts the hurt on the quarterback. The quarterback has to get rid of the ball, and it goes incomplete. He has to throw it away. And in the process, he makes, that's a dangerous pass too, out there in the middle of the field with a whole bunch of white jerseys around. Being completely honest, this next play is really put together and made by the people on the right side of that line right there. The defensive linemen and the edge rusher there all crashing down. And as they crash down, Frankie's able to slide in right behind them unscathed and put a hit right on the quarterback. And you would think that tackle over there was at number 70. You would think that he would kind of be eyeballing that linebacker to come around the side, but his eyes are peeled on 50. As he's coming off the edge, and he can't do anything with Frankie. Frankie comes off of that side right there, and boom, right into the quarterback. Carr had no chance right there. Like, he was dead meat from the get-go. The moment that lineman tucked in and went for 50, this play right here was decided. Sack. On this play right here, Frankie just destroys the right guard for New Orleans. I mean, he tries. He puts up a valiant effort, it appears at least. But Frankie's just too strong, and there's too much of him, man. He puts it on him and goes right into Derek Carr, puts the hit. And Carr took a nasty little fall right there. Like, he got beat up a lot in this game. As you see, there was like a knee to his head or from his shoulder right there. I don't know, the number 70 over there, the Saints lineman. It was like he just kind of inadvertently bounced off of his side there. Like, I don't know if you can see that, guys, but look, he like kind of just bounces off. And Frankie's a spirited guy. Watch him hop up. I love to see that. Those freaking Samoans are nuts, y'all. Now, the reason I show this play right here is because not only is Frankie Luvu in this play doing things on the edge over there, the guy who actually makes the play is Jeremy Chinn, another player for Washington this year that came over from Carolina. You have to really wonder how bad of an organization that has to be to let those two players go, because those two guys were dogs on the defensive side of the board. Now, I will say that I definitely know that Chinn has underperformed compared to his first year, but I'm expecting some big things out of him, and he's freaking huge, man. He's like a specimen. But anyway, watch this play as it goes down. Like, if Chinn doesn't get this sack, Luvu gets this sack off the side, because he just kills his man off the side over there, even though, you know, Kirk Cousins goes down to Jeremy Chinn right here, and I mean, resoundingly, right? But look on the edge over there, like, Frankie had just killed his man. It always mystifies me. You see these big ass linemen. I mean, they're huge, right? Big ass arms, over 300 pounds, whatever. A lot of them are mostly muscle. But when they start doing that kickback on that line right there, all it takes is for a defensive lineman to just do kind of like a stutter step and just check him with one hand, and he is completely done for. You see that? It's crazy that he could just, just like hit him with that little stab, one little pop, and he just smacks his hand away right there, and the lineman is beat instantly. And if Jeremy doesn't bust up the middle and kill this play, Frankie gets the sack on the edge. I love how he does not give up on this play right here. He sticks with it. He keeps an eye on the quarterback. He maintains his presence at the line of scrimmage. He stands there. He takes a couple hits from the lineman. And then when he sees his moment, he just makes a move around the corner right here. Nothing the lineman can do. He just cannot keep up with the strength. He just cannot keep up with Frankie. Frankie gets around him and pow, hits the quarterback. The quarterback has no opportunity to be able to let go of that ball. This guy is just super smart. He's able to just stand there and read the play, man. And as the play develops, makes the hit. And what's kind of becoming a theme here, this is actually the second game with the Saints. Number 51 again for the Saints, the right guard. He just comes right over top of him, and there's nothing that man can do. Like, he just can't do anything with Frankie. Like, he tries to put an arm out there, but nope, not doing anything with that man. Washington fans are going to fall in love with this guy right here. There's absolutely nothing to not like about him. I mean, first of all, we obviously have seen over and over again right here that this is a mismatch for that lineman right there, but he cannot do anything with Frankie there. Like, Frankie makes a couple little moves, and he is in there. Carr is beat. There's nothing that Derek Carr can do. Luvu makes 51 look like a rookie right here, and it's not the first time he's done this already on this film session. The guy is just a complete dog, yo. I tried to tell y'all, man, watch this in real time. 51 has no chance, man. Hard to believe that this Carolina team was as bad as they were with the talent that they had on that defense. I mean, Frankie Luvu was a guy that they should have utilized a lot more. They should have probably done a lot better on defense with a guy like this coming up the gut on plays like this. Watch this. I mean, he's just all over the quarterback right there, man. I mean, if you're the Green Bay Packers coach right here, you are so angry at this point right here. Like, why did nobody pick this man up, He's able to come right up the gut unscathed. I mean, the play design is just not right there. Something was off right here. But he is all over Jordan Love the second the ball is snapped. Watch it in real time. Yeah, I mean, Love can't do anything. As soon as he turns around, he's on him. Now, Frankie Luvu is not the fastest linebacker in the game, but this guy is unbelievably quick from that edge to the backfield. Watch him catch up with the running back here and make this tackle. I mean, he made that look easy, y'all. Like, that is not an easy thing to do, to be able to come off the edge right there. First of all, they leave him unblocked thinking he can't do anything with his play right here, and he ends up making a tackle, and it goes down for a loss. Obviously, the other defensive line, I believe it was 91 there, is the first one to kind of make things break down, but Frankie comes all the way around the edge and makes that hit. You see it in real time. You see this guy is quick from the edge to the ball. That's pretty quick, man. On this play here, he just protects this edge over here and makes a really good tackle for loss. I mean, obviously, the entire Carolina Panther defense is right there with him, ready to make a second and third hit on top of that guy. But he's the one that gets behind the line of scrimmage, gets that foot, and kills the play. Again, off the edge to the backfield, this guy is quick. Comes off the side here, unblocked again. Like I said, they don't ever think that this linebacker is ever going to do anything to the play, so that they're like, all right, we're just going to leave this guy uncovered. We'll crash down. He'll never be able to get into the play. But Frankie does quite the opposite. Gets in on the play, makes the tackle. Did they gain anything off of that? Because it looks like they lost a yard. If you're a running back out there and you're trying to block Frankie Luvu, you've already looked at your coach sideways when he tells you 49 is your job to block on these plays. You already are looking at your coach sideways. Now watch number 2 for the Vikings here. He keeps this from turning into a sack because Frankie's got an open line on Kirk Cousins right there. And another step faster. I don't know, maybe Kirk gets that off without him actually coming in contact with the ball or stopping the play. But man, that would have been one hell of a hit. And we all know, we've seen Luvu play already. We've seen the kind of hits this man delivers. Watch him in real time lay that running back out. Watch this. Pow! And if you watch it again, Kurt immediately thinks he's going to get hit. Like, he spins around and starts bracing. I mean, Frankie Luvu is just tremendous in these kind of plays. Pow! Jesus. And as you see, the ball sails. So not only did he, put pressure on the quarterback, but he also killed the play. Cousins had to get rid of it or he was going to get sacked. One of the things that actually impressed me about Frankie that I didn't know before looking over his film was his open field tackling ability. I've already talked about, his quickness in between, the edge and the backfield, but his open field tackling ability is actually top notch. And he's able to work through traffic, work through some trash, and able to make plays, as you see right here. And this play is just another example of what he does. I mean, that man right there only ended up gaining like a yard or 2. Now, I'm not trying to say that other Carolina Panthers weren't in line to make a play, but Frankie just kills that. I mean, he has an edge to get around right there, maybe get another extra 2 or 3 yards, maybe. Longtime viewers of the channel know that I absolutely love goal line stands. I love them. I mean, it's probably one of the things that I enjoy more than just about anything, except for maybe seeing the offense score a touchdown or whatever. But I love to see a play where the defensive line or defensive setup or whatever stops the ball inside the 2-yard line. You got to know that you're winning the situation if your defense can stop them when they only need, like a matter of 5 or 6 feet to get in. And Frankie just stops that running back right here, right in his tracks as the man's trying to roll over top of his lineman. And honestly, if Frankie's not standing there to do that, that guy probably rolls into the end zone. Now, I don't know if his knees will touch before any of that happens because we don't have that angle, but Frankie definitely stops a touchdown from happening here. Now, that was the first play. Here's the second play. Again, inside the 2-yard line or right outside of the 2-yard line. And this one's going to be a pass play. Frankie drops back into coverage, and he's able to stick his hands up and smack the ball. And the tip drill that this turns into almost produces a turnover in the end zone. As you see, 42 and 86 collided, and the ball falls to the ground. But again, Frankie, in the middle of things, creating problems for the offense. Here's another example of that again. Carolina's defense is actually looking like they might get beat on this play, and the ball comes out, and Frankie's able to just tip it again. As you see the receiver there behind him, he was right in line to catch that ball. That would have been a first down. And Frankie jumps, steps up, hits the ball. And on this play, here we are again, yet another time. Jumps up, smacks the ball down. Now, one thing that I knew before watching this film, but was reiterated by watching the film, was how strong this guy is. I mean, he could finish when it comes to coming in, making a tackle, holding on, bringing his man down. Watch this play right here. He nails the blocker, stands him straight up, right? You see that? And then works his way around the blocker and makes the tackle. Watch that in real time and watch him come off and just nail that lineman, that pulling lineman. Watch the replay in real time and see him hit that pulling lineman, knock him back, and then make the tackle. Pow! He blows that completely up. And the second pulling lineman behind him was caught up in the whole situation. Like, he knocks the first man into the second man and blows the play up. This is the kind of play that you love to see your linebacker making right here. Just blowing it up and making the play stop. A disruptor. This guy is so good at playing the disruptor role. And it really is something that we're going to need out of him in the 2024 season. I'm so pumped to think about this linebacker core with him and B-Wags and Jamin Davis coming off the edge now as an edge rusher and then playing maybe a little linebacker. I think more than likely to get him in the linebacker spot, probably have to have some injuries. But the linebacker position on this team has taken a massive step forward this year. You know, that's one thing that I have been just pounding the table, so to speak, for years about, like, trying to get this linebacker core better. Seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like Ron Rivera, you would think as a former linebacker, he would want to go out and get the dogs. But this guy just seemed like he was just trying to find somebody that could play in zone, and tackling was an option. I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell they were doing. Now, in this play right here, he gets a good beat on the quarterback. He's playing quarterback spy, and I kind of wanted to show that he's able to stick with the quarterback step for step, and then he's able to close ground at the end right here and make sure that he doesn't gain anything more than a yard or two. And, you know, that's only because he wanted to give him space to make sure that he didn't get beat. That quarterback probably could have made a pass right there, but he decided to try to gain a couple yards. As you see, his man actually has a step if he'd actually let go of it. On this play right here, he's able to react to the situation and keep that man from getting a first down. Yeah, the play is complete, and Dallas's receiver there actually was probably going to get the first down without even a problem before Frankie came up and put an end to this play right here. Like, he just, you know, he couldn't do any more. Once Frankie locked in on it, he just couldn't do any more. Love to see plays like this one right here, where Frankie's over here to the side, and he starts to play off with a pass rush coming after the quarterback, who in tune gets rid of it real quick, and Frankie's able to react. That's another thing that I'm impressed about with Luvu, is his reaction skills. Like, this guy, first of all, number 60 probably at least should have put his paw on him before releasing like he did. But Frankie instantly reads the play and just collapses right on the receiver or the running back there and makes the tackle. And that's pretty close to being behind the line of scrimmage. He may have gotten a yard there. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Open field tackling. It's something that honestly shouldn't be a problem with this group that we got coming in here now. Now, Frankie just takes this play and just shuts it completely down. He takes what could have been a decent little gain and turns it into a loss right here. Like, this ends up being a tackle for loss behind the line of scrimmage. And that receiver just couldn't do nothing, man. I mean, he just blew it up. He read it perfect times. He wasn't fooled by Baker Mayfield, and puts the hit on the wide receiver right there. And they do not move forward at all. I think, quite honestly, that Derek Carr probably has bad dreams about Frankie Luvu, or at least he did last year, because this man was just doing crazy stuff in Derek Carr's face. Watch this play right here. He comes right up the gut. First of all, why does your defense leave number 49 unscathed? I mean, what in the world are they thinking, right? Like, nobody back there to protect your quarterback at all. And he has to just dump it because there's nothing on a quick hit. If he'd have had a better angle, he could have hit Kamara, who was open right there. But he just couldn't do nothing. And he knew. I mean, that man was for certain that with the quickness of Frankie Luvu, he needed to get rid of that ball or he was going to meet turf. Watch it back in real time. That is a dog right there, y'all. He's going to put some quarterbacks on the turf this season. You know, I talked to him up about his open field tackling, and this play right here, not so great. You know, he kind of, the receiver slips him, but it's more so about him running in too fast and then not wrapping up. But the receiver gets away from him, but Frankie does not quit. This guy does not know what that word means, and he works back across the field after losing him and is the person who brings him down. And as he comes down, check it out, that ball flies out. Now, as you see, Carolina's luck is pretty much always the same here lately, and Green Bay gets the ball back. Stepping up, stepping into the play, and just blowing it up, man, once again. I mean, I think that they might have gotten a yard or two out of that, but he just puts the hit on Green Bay's running back right there. Jones can't do nothing with it. He just takes his shoulder right into his, and he just spins around, and he's lost the point of attack right there. Like, there's no recovering from that. And yeah, you know, he didn't really look like he gained anything off of that either. It looked like almost looked like a tackle for loss there again. Again, do not use your running back to try to put a block on Frankie Luvu. He's going to run right over him. Like, really? I mean, at least that running back did enough to make sure that Frankie didn't get that sack because he was coming for it. And yeah, they barely got rid of it. Now in this play right here, it looks like it's going to be a tackle for loss, but as the running back kind of goes down to the left here, he cuts back out, spins, and looks like he's trying to make something else on the right side of the field, but Frankie's not hearing it. Closes the ground in between him and that running back and ends this play. If you watch Frankie Luvu's film and you still try to block him with the running back more than you do with other players, then you're not paying attention to what's going on in front of you. You're just not, because he's going to get away from whatever running back that you put on him. Now, this play right here, they're able to effectively at least change his direction. Okay. Now, I'm actually surprised that Jacksonville is able to get rid of the ball here because they have immense pressure coming from both Burns and Luvu. And yes, they got it away. Man, on this play right here, he just does it again. He completely blows up that right guard. Tampa Bay's right guard probably slept weirdly for at least a couple weeks after this, man. I mean, probably had nightmares about this, man. Like, he just bull rushes right over the top of him and throws him to the ground. Now, in the process, I swear to you, look at that. The Tampa Bay lineman came up off the ground. His feet were like a foot off of the ground. He almost fell with just that first move. But this action made Baker Mayfield flee that pocket, and they instantly get him. Frankie puts an arm on him, but doesn't get the sack. I think Brian Burns actually ends up coming away with this one. Now, in this play, he just barely misses that sack. Look, he sticks that arm out. Just barely misses that sack. You know, what we didn't have on this film was a whole lot of problems. Now, one thing I noticed is sometimes his patience may run a little thin. He overexerts, maybe overruns a play, or maybe he tries to arm tackle and loses a guy. Like here's a decent example of that right here in real time. He just, arm tackle, misses his guy, gives up a touchdown. And here's another example of that again. He's in position to make this play, to make this tackle, but he tries to arm tackle, loses his guy, who then, cuts back in and gains another 6 yards. Right, for every one or two of those, there's 3 or 4 of these, though, where he comes off the edge and makes the tackle. And you sit back and say, man, that dude's a freaking dog. Now, one thing I'm not going to do is sit here and say that this guy's the best coverage linebacker. But to me, he's an upgrade from where we were, but he can be beat, like on this play right here. Now, of course, this is a wide receiver, a big-bodied wide receiver, actually, who beats the coverage. It's more so the coverage than beating Luvu himself, but he beats the coverage right here and gets an unbelievable gain out of this, actually. And he should have scored, but he was down at the 1 right there. He's just a little slip there made him fall. Here's a rare sight right here, him getting pushed around on the field right here by an offensive lineman right in the midst of the play, but he gets pushed completely out of that play. Now, I showed examples earlier of him jumping up, swatting the ball, and making the play die. Here's a situation here where he was a tiny bit too aggressive, went for the swat, and lost control of his man. Instead of trying to cover the situation and make the tackle, he went for the ball, and it stung him because his man was able to gain several more yards. Now, this was kind of uncharacteristic. It just shows me a little bit of inconsistency, but he tries to arm tackle the quarterback as the quarterback steps out of the pocket, and he loses him. And the quarterback is able to kick out and get a pretty damn good gain out of that too. But look, folks, nobody's perfect, so there's obviously going to be some bad film out there pretty much on every single player. Hell, if you dug far enough, you'll find, bad film on great defensive linemen like Reggie White or offensive linemen that made the Hall of Fame. So no one's perfect. But this guy is just, I like his combination of strength, overall ability, character, and just raw dog emotion out on the field. Like, the dude is just nasty. He carries it with him. He can get after the quarterback. He can get into the backfield and stop the runs. He's a disruptor, and having him play behind those defensive line guys that we have, like Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, I tell you what, it's got me over here licking my chops. And I guarantee you that our defensive coordinator and the guys around him are doing that as well, because this is a guy that brings a lot to the table, especially to a defense that finished dead last year. Undoubtedly, their number one issue was linebacker. I know somebody will scream, well, they didn't have all that great of a secondary either. True. But if they had a linebacker core that's medium to subpar or better, they could have won at least a small handful more of games last season. But at any rate, I do believe that Frankie Luvu is going to make the defense instantly better on the field. I cannot believe that Carolina went from being a team, what, they win like one game last year? And they went from a team that their number one standpoint was defense, and they pretty much liquidated that whole defense, all their pieces. I get it that they're scared that Brian Burns won't re-sign, but they didn't try to bring back Chinn. They didn't try to do any of these things. Now, I also heard reports that Chinn was going to leave no matter what, but they could have tried to sign Luvu, who should have been given a contract. Let's just be honest here. But in this situation, their loss is Washington's gain. I feel like this guy definitely fits what Dan Quinn and his staff want out of their defensive players. He's nasty. He likes to hit. He gets at the quarterback. He's good off the edge. He gets a whole lot of tackle for losses that more than likely come because of his, his quickness, his speed of the game, the way he's able to come off of that edge and get in that backfield, within a second or two, which is crazy. And he's able to get around those linemen over there that are trying to protect their edge. And one thing I really like is his ability to play multiple spots. Like, he's not stuck at one spot. He's not stuck at only being a Mike linebacker, because he can play the Mike and he can play the outside spots. I also believe in a pinch, he might actually be able to juice over and maybe play a little bit of edge rusher. I mean, if Jamin Davis can play it at what is he, like 240 something? I don't have his numbers right off the bat here, like 240, 250 something. If Jamin Davis can do it, Frankie Luvu can do it coming off the edge as well. Of course, you might not want him coming off the edge because he's better in other places, but still, his speed from the edge to the backfield is so impressive that you can't tell me that Dan Quinn, who loves Dante Fowler and all those other guys, you can't tell me that he hasn't already thought about that. At any rate, I'm hoping for big things with Frankie. He's only signed to a one-year deal, so to me, I'm kind of seeing that as a prove-it kind of situation. And from what I've seen on film and what I've seen during the preseason, I think he's going to try to prove it to us in the only way he knows how, and that's by going out on the field and knocking somebody's head off, because that's what he's been taught to do. And I'll go back to the Samoan way of life. Only knows one speed, and that's full speed ahead. Those guys are known for being fierce competitors, and he's no different than anywhere else in his bloodline lineage. Like, he is a nasty dude on the football field. He might be nice, in person, but on the football field, the switch is flipped. At any rate, I view this guy as a difference maker on the field this year. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments. And guys, if you haven't already, reach up there and hit that thumbs up button. It doesn't cost a dime, but it helps out so much. Like, it makes the videos catch on in the algorithm and go forward and get a lot more traction. So please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Reach up there and hit that button. Y'all take it easy. Peace.